Alright, so what we have here is a Warhawk. I kind of already at the flying field took off the little prop adapter piece, and I just stuck it on the prop so I wouldn't lose it to see what was kind of going on. But if you lock down onto this shaft with the pliers and you start to spin, it only goes a little bit of the ways. Oh, I think I'm slipping. Yeah, there we go. You reach a stopping point. So it's when the motor engages, you can see it click, click, click. It's not making it pass. So something's wrong with the gear. I've never done this. I did that video on the servo for the last one, but this is a new ailment, a new bird also. This is a brand new one. So I got the part from Rage RC. This is a Rage RC bird, not an Eachine, but I believe they're actually all the same. It is an RGRA 1335 gearbox for BF 109 Spitfire, but I had them look it up and you know, cross-reference the parts the same, and you can see inside the hole. Basically, it looks the same. So let me get to the first step. So I forgot to mention, I pulled out this little piece, and it was kind of glued in at the back here, but nowhere else. So it's pretty nifty. Like my Mustang doesn't have it, but these have removable panels. And also, if you need to get to the servos, I just had to take the whole wing off of the one of them to get to this. This would be awesome if you had this on some of them, but maybe because these are the brand newest ones, they kind of made it a little bit more user friendly for that stuff. But anyway, next step. So looking at the replacement part, I'm pretty sure this shaft is what he ran into a tree, so he must have just bent this shaft, and that's why he's not having any kind of movement of it. So hopefully the motor is still fine. Well, I'll see once I get it out. I'll try to spin it. But basically these two screws release the motor from the housing, so I'll do that first. A little magnet action. Of course, the motor. Look at that. Alright, get those out of there. See if I can dissect this. Alright, looks like I'm getting the housing. Okay, there you go. So I got the motor cover out. Alright, the motor just slipped out of there. So now, I didn't buy extra motor, which I don't know why. I had it in my hand. I should have, at the local shop, I should have picked that up because we're going to need one eventually. As much play as we do with these things. I want to get this up and out, and then I'll see if I can get it. Let me do this off camera, y'all. You can see all the details of me getting out the hole. Yeah, these little angles made easy work of it. Alright, get this hooked up. Alright, the motor's spinning. Yep, satisfied with that. So I tugged on it a little bit. It did have some movement. I ultimately ended up stuffing the motor inside the battery bay. As you can see there, you can see the gear. Because just to keep it out of my way, the cord in the motor is out of my way, completely out. And I noticed that this had some play to it. So I ended up putting the motor housing, the motor securing cover back on it with the two screws so I can actually put some force on it. And it's moving, but I feel like it's gonna eventually break the plastic off the nose, and it's actually behind. Let's see if I can point that out to you. It's actually behind this portion right here. That foam is higher, so like it's in like an indenting. So I don't think it'll come back, and that's probably a good idea so that it won't come back for while you're trying to fly or crashing into stuff. So I'm gonna have to split it, and I think if I split it from the bottom where it's less visible, that'd be the best location, not to have to do too much touch up to the top portion, you know, because it's a brand new bird. I really would like it to stay pretty, and if I have a cut down here with a little glue, it shouldn't be too bad. Alright, I got a brand new number 11 blade, and I am going to attempt to make a clean cut. Whoa. It's making a super clean cut. Boy, it always amazes me when I switch to a brand new blade how great they work. I don't know why. I guess cheapness. I don't know. These blades come in a big pack, and I got a big pack of them. I don't know why am I cheap about this, but I end up using it for like normal utility stuff. I use them until, I don't know, I put a brand new one on for this, but I kept the old one, oddly enough. So, make my little precision surgery cut. Alright, dig all the way down to the motor housing and see what I can do. Looks like I still got a little foam in certain areas holding. I'm gonna lose a little bit of foam there, which for a repair like this, oh, there we go. It's actually glued to the foam, so I'm gonna have to work that out of there. Or try to. Probably gonna end up cutting away some foam to get by it. Alright, let's see what I can get. I guess I don't need to see all this detail because you can't see in there too much. I'm gonna pause this. It's glued in pretty good around these portions, which is probably awesome to keep it from backward motion. So I got it. Yeah, it's out now. I can probably just grab it with this. Let's see. Yep, I got it out. Alright, so that's that. Got it out of there. And yep, look at that. A C-clip from the housing is what was stopping it from going around. Or an E-clip, better yet. So yeah, that E-clip went right there. But either way, the shaft is bent, so yeah, pretty bent. I'm not gonna try to fix that or anything. If I didn't have one, I would. You know how that goes. Go ahead and take this out so I don't have to do it later. Alright, bolt the screws out. Try to work this in like it was. Fully went right in there. It looks like I have a decent repair. This is nice. So the foam has a slot in it, if you can see in there where this little notch goes. So it marries in pretty good, and I feel like it's pretty solid. And it's also I didn't take that housing off. I wanted to take that off so I can get the motor in. Yeah, there we go. I could almost put the motor in before I put the housing in. It might make it easier. Let me address that perhaps. So I pulled the motor out of this cover area. I'm going to close that down and get out of the way. I slid it back in the housing. Man, it's a real tight fit even without the top on. So I was a little worried about how that would fit, and I don't have to because it actually fits pretty good. So there's two little notches to help you get in, which is golden for something like this, especially if you're not doing it like I'm doing it. If you had to lower that down into that hole, those little two pegs to keep you in alignment is probably golden to have. Of course, the magnet will definitely give me a hard time here. Alright, get this cinched down. And like I said, the motor's pretty tight already. Of course, probably not tight enough for flight and stuff, but impressively tight in the socket where it goes. And of course, I did the same thing twice just for you guys. Alright, let me get this in there. Alright, got that pretty tight without breaking it. I think I'm gonna do a test. Alright, got it bound up, and yeah, spins awesome. Smooth as silk. I like it. Alright, so got all that out the way. The motor's secure. I'm glad I did this while it was out because it's just being easier than trying to fight it in there after the fact. All right, I'm gonna put it where I think it kind of goes and start looking for those slots. Yep, there's the slot. If you can see right there, that's the slot where it came from. So I'm just gonna put this right back in that slot. And wow, it sits perfect. It finishes with this flat edge here, so it can't get pushed back any. Let's see if I can get this in. There we go. Can't get pushed back any. Let's see if this way works better. Yeah. Oh, my headlamp's dead. That is the problem. So there's a ledge there. You see it? That's what keeps it from going back. So anyway, I'm very impressed with how easy this went back together. So I could do some foam safe glue, but in this case, I'm probably gonna just use this CA. See how easy this works. I usually use a key pin in there. That's just my little thing. I don't know. Always did. So I'm gonna spread this open as far as I can. I'm gonna go this side first. I'm gonna get a little glue, I guess, right on this little ear. Hopefully this guy doesn't break it again. Alright, I got some glue on there. I'm gonna push that end on. I'm gonna get some glue over here on the same ear. Nice little glob. And I'm gonna go ahead and press it together in that area, not right here by the nose. I want it to go back pretty, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a decent amount on it. And guide that all the way around. Put a little on top of the housing just in case it makes any contact with the top of this foam. It'll kind of secure to that foam. All right, I'm gonna spread that. Push that back together. Get a little piece of paper towel and get the excess off. At this point, I could hold it here. I'm pretty satisfied with the look of the shark's teeth. Oh, I always do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a spray of kicker and I'm gonna put it on this this piece of plastic, and I'm gonna just drag my finger in it and I'm gonna wipe it right there. Now, once I blow that off, now that kicker is gonna hold it. Now, I don't want to put kicker everywhere because it just feel like it's not as strong when you have kicker involved as it is as a regular joint. So I just put kicker right here, and then the rest of it should dry naturally, and I think that's gonna be good. Yeah. Let's see how I feel about the integrity of this. Looks like there's a little glue loitering around in there. I definitely don't want that. I guess from that extra that I put in between the two pieces in case the plastic would. I think I'm gonna take a little spray in here just to be done with it. I like to blow my kicker because it dries really fast. Or I got a fan up here so I can sit it in there. But no, I think that's pretty dry. This piece was glued to the back, but it fits so tight that I feel like it's probably not necessary to be glued, because in case we need to get back in there. If it ever looks like it's gonna fall out or something, okay, so I'll revisit that. However, and of course I dropped the camera. I need a rubber band or something to just keep this from falling. Alright. This light is making us off center. There we go. Go ahead and put get the extra CA off of here, and then put my needle back in. And of course the cap fits right on with the needle, so don't have to worry about that. Alright, get my prop adapter. I'm gonna press him in there. Wow, that went easy. It doesn't normally go easy. These things suck for getting on. Alright, that's pretty far in there. Huh, beautiful bird. I love this thing. I didn't notice that that stuck down past the battery housing, but it obviously did because I didn't change anything with that. Get the battery hooked up. arm it. We're in business. This could realistically fly right now. Major repair, and argumentatively looked like it never happened. There you go, repaired Warhawk. Alright, this is one of the Eachine birds. This one is actually one of the ones came through Rage RC. So what we experienced is the bird, you know, lost control or whatever, and then, you know, we figured out why, because when we got to the ground, the servo was just screaming. So then I noticed it was kind of hot or whatever. I could feel the heat from the outside of the plastic case, and when I pulled it out, you could see it completely melted, right? So instantly I was like, all right, I just need a new servo, no big deal. But, you know, it's like such a cheap bird, you know, probably just throw it type away type thing. But, you know, no, I was able to get a servo replacement. Rage RC has all the replacement parts, so you can get it. There's the numbers you're going to look for online. It is a RGRA 131 by Rage RC. And so I was thinking, okay, my mind instantly went, because it's all glued together, so my mind instantly went for the hardest thing, which would be to, not the hardest thing, but just something I'm capable of. I was going to cut this, you know, solder the wires, put heat shrink on it, the whole 9 yards. But then I looked at the body lines, and I just end up cutting around this, pushing the foam in, and then cutting with the X-Acto knife. Well, let me focus. Cutting with the X-Acto knife around the whole body line of the wing to the fuselage. So I got to this point where now I can take the fuselage completely off from the wing section, and then you get to the board. So rather than me soldering these little tiny wires, I can actually pull this tape out and then go ahead and get a new servo put in. So let me move on to that next step. So I just decided to test it before I got too far into it. So got the battery in. So I got some elevator, I got rudder, and the servo for the ailerons is moving. So let me get it put together and see what it looks like put together. All right, excuse the word, dirty workbench. Just got back from a trip and doing a lot of stuff. So we got rudder working fine. We got some decent elevator, and we have our ailerons. And let's see. And the motor runs, so that's a success. If you look, like I said, I bulged back the plastic, the foam, all the way around, as I made the cut with the X-Acto knife, very, very delicately. You can see, like, if I push it back in, especially right here where the plastic is in the front, I trimmed all around it because this piece stays together. So you got to trim around this front part, right? But it's almost like it could fly like this with a piece of tape or something. So I'm gonna glue it back, but I mean, it's like the finish, look, when I put it back together like that, it's not even damaged. So it's gonna go back together really nicely and be like nothing ever happened. So just in case you need to do the same thing, don't throw your bird away, you can fix it. So I got some foam safe glue, and I'm gonna just dab it towards the inside of the fuselage for the repair. And I already went the rest of the way around. I got a little drip going in the back, and I want that to go on the outside, so I'm gonna just pick it up with my finger. All right. As far as the part where the plastic is, I'm gonna just put a little lip around that too, because when I finish with that, it's gonna squirt out a little bit perhaps, and I'll just wipe it off. All right. So let's see what I got here. So all right, I'm pushing it together, and the areas that I knew would have a little bulge from an extra pocket of glue, I'm gonna go ahead and get the excess off. Around here, I knew they would have some. The person I got it from had already previously bent that in a little bit from crashes, so it's no issue if there's a little glue showing. All right, I don't see any at this seam. All right, this is the area we kind of want to look a little decent. So I'm gonna make sure it's covering the X-Acto knife markings. All right, so all that looks good. Just gotta let that glue set, and this will be ready to fly in no time. There's a little white showing, so I could perhaps cheat it by moving the fuselage, because it'll expand a little bit, so that's kind of what you want. But I don't guess that little bit of showing white would hurt anybody's feelings, considering what the bird's been through. All right, that's the whole repair.